Okay, for your practice using the green screen or blue screen that we have here in class, what you're going to do is you're going to go to New Project. Once you go to New Project, you're going to give it a title at the top corner. This is going to be Green Screen Composite. That's what we're going to call it here, Green Screen Composite at the top. Make sure you're saving it here to your Premiere Pro 23 folder. That should be fine. You're going to hit Create. Once you've hit that and you get this new file that opens up for you, just remember that from your folders, I had you go into your folders. This is just a reminder. And in here, in graphics, in classes, in period 8, I had you take this footage folder that has 5 files in it and take it and drag it and drop it to your desktop. Also, you were supposed to go on to Pixabay. Once you got there, I had you go to videos and download a background like a landscape or some other kind of scene. Once you get there, you're supposed to click and hit download. After that, I wanted you to go in and find something that was going to go on top of this. So like I could do a boat, and you could do boat on a green screen. You could do boat. The green screen ones are the ones that work best for this kind of thing. So if you can find, like, if you type in the word green screen, that's going to be helpful to you. That's going to be helpful to you. Like this kind of thing would work. All right. So you're going to click it. You're going to hit download. Any other pieces that you want, you can download in the same fashion. Okay. But try to use Pixabay to do that. Once you're going to get started here, when you open up Premiere Pro, you're going to make sure you go to your project folder in the bottom left corner over here. You're going to double click. Once you double click, I want you to go to your desktop and import that entire footage folder, the green one. Once you get that there, you're going to double click the box. You're going to see all the different examples here of what you have in that folder show up. What you're going to first do is grab one of your backgrounds. So one, like let's say your landscape, I could use this one or any of the other ones. I'll use this one. I'm just going to click, drag, and drop this into my timeline, and it's going to drop it into the timeline. This one doesn't have any audio to it, but we're going to add a file on top of this. So one of our green screen files we're going to add on top. So I'm going to go to this owl one that I have here on green screen, and I'm going to drag and drop that one right on top of that file. So I've put my first file on top. So this is where the compositing happens. Then if I click and drag over it, you can see that this one has no, you can't see anything. Once it gets to the green part, right, you can't see what's behind it. So we want to get rid of the green. So in order to do that, we're going to click on the file itself and then go up to where it says Effects Control. So if you see the source up top here, make sure you can see Effects Control. So if I click on that clip and I go to Effects Control, I see things like position and scale and rotation and stuff. I also see something like opacity and blend modes, which do work, but they don't do a great job because they leave a haze of some kind. So what you really want to do is you want to go down over here to this little arrow, go to Effects, right here. Okay, one more time, click, Effects, and you want to find the video effect and scroll down to where it says keying, and then these are all the different kinds of keys you can do. Ultra key, luma key, color key, they all work pretty well and pretty much the same. Ultra key I think is going to work best for us, so take ultra key here. So you're taking this and you're taking this effect and dragging it right onto the layer itself. Once you drag it onto the layer, you'll notice that the ultra key has been added right here where I'm circling on my screen. And then all you have to do is take the key color, choose this little eyedropper, click on it, and then click on the green of the screen over here on the right hand side. And once you've done that, it will eliminate that green, and if you play it back, you should see a nice example of how this is going to look. And you start to see, and it does a nice job of eliminating that green for us. Okay, so you go back to here, you go back to project, back into the folder, and there are some other pieces that you can do while you're in here. So if you have your two pieces, you are going to take those and you can put them on top. You can put the green screen. You can double up, triple up. You could take, like for example here, I could take the butterfly, drop the butterfly on top. You notice that this butterfly file happens to be much, much longer, but I'm just going to pull it on top anyway. And when I pull my mouse over the top here, you can't see underneath it. It's covering everything, but we do the same thing. We click on the butterfly layer. We can double click it. It opens up here. Make sure you go to Effects Control at the top. And then to add that same thing, we got to go back down to the bottom again. Click, choose Effects, go to Keying again, which should still be open from last time. Choose Ultra Key, drag and drop it onto the butterfly. Nothing will change immediately, but if you scroll down here, you will see that the Ultra key got added. It actually got added over here, sorry, over here. So I'm still on the butterfly layer. I go to Ultra key right here, key color. I take the eyedropper, click, choose the green, and it gets rid of that. And then as I play it back, you see both happening at the same time. Now, over here in effects control, besides the Ultra key, like I said, you have position, scale, all these things. You can start to change the scale and or position of this piece as much as you would like. And then when you play it back, you should have one finished piece of now two things beginning to kind of happen at the same time, or overlapping, overlaying, I should say, and compositing these two pieces together. Okay, so the additional piece that you need to have on here that's going to kind of work for you, that you got to practice, is taking the video of yourself on top of the blue screen. So what I did here is I downloaded these two files. So I have Cam from one side, and then Cam from the other side. So what we're going to do here is we're going to import these in. So all you got to do is click and drag once you've downloaded them, once you have them. If you want to airdrop them to me, I'll put them in your folder. And then I'm going to go back to here for a moment, go back to my project, open up my folder, and then down here in the bottom corner, I'm going to add those pieces. So I'm just going to go right back to here, grab those two from my download or from my folder, drag them in. They're going to drop in, and we'll take one at a time. We're going to take this one of Cam, we're going to drag it right on top. You'll notice that when it comes in, it's coming in with the sound of him talking. If I don't want that, I can just double click his file and just bring in his video and not his audio. If I drag all of him, it will do both at the same time, but I just want the video file. So I drag it in like this. Go up to it. Now you notice it's much bigger than everything else that I'm working with. So I click on the file. If I double click it, I can go to my effects control. I can change the scale of the whole clip so I can see more, kind of like this. I can change the positioning of the clip. Be like, say like that, right? And then I'm going to use that same Ultra key. I'm going to go to the corner. I'm going to go to effects, down to Ultra key, drag it onto the clip of him. Once I drag it on there, there's that Ultra key that comes up under my effects, right? Take the eyedropper, click on the blue, and there he is. And if I played it back, okay, now all of these tools that you're using here in the Ultra key, you can change the settings on them. You'll see that each one has like a little they have default settings, relaxed, aggressive settings, custom settings, all of these different pieces, and then you can start to kind of play with how clean and tight that little cutout is to you. So I can like cut things out real clean. I can highlight them, shadow them a little bit, so you can kind of mess with all the different settings that are here to get it just right for you. So once you have one of them, you can go in and drag in the next piece. So you go back into here, find the next one, drag that in also. Same options, same idea. Go to effects control, resize. Then from here, same thing, go over to here, go to effects, Ultra key, drag it on, click the little eyedropper, click the blue, and now we have him talking to himself. So maybe like kind of over here sort of thing. And we'll kind of play it back. We'll just see what it looks like. Looks like he's making fun of himself. Back to this one, effects control, and then you just have to play with the settings. You know, if you go to the default settings, you might find something. You go to this one, you go to those default settings. It's just a matter of kind of playing around with what you have to try to get it right. So there are some of those options that you're just gonna have to kind of play with and customize and try to get right. And so those things should all kind of happen at the same time. If you wanted to make one cam small, make one like this. I can move them down. We can even do a little where it says opacity here, we can kind of crop it if you hit this little box, and we can give him an exact little area where he comes into play. Alright, so this is the first kind of step of it, and I'll come over to help you. When you get to the mask, you can feather the mask so it's lighter on the edge. And we can use the Ultra key option here to try to get the color correct. You can change colors on him. You can clean up the matte area around him. You can clean up the choke on him right here. So there's lots of options that you can do. So play with it, call me over as you're working, and we're going to composite the video and have all these things happening at once. You need at least 3 things compositing on top of your background.